Well, I think it was when it worked well until I put it in park.
Maybe.
And then it cut you off. I was worried that would happen. Amy was just finishing up with Foxy Seaside. I think you said A-, which I think is a fair mark for her. I like the filly too. I think she has a lot to offer. And as I said, I was a little torn. I could see somebody leaning towards A- right now. There's nothing wrong with that. I think she could easily end up with A+. But as we talked today, I think A- is a fair mark for her. I just thought she was an A. Next, we're going to run through to... wait, no, I got to put it on age. Thank you. Freedom Hill. You know better about anybody than Freedom Hill. You haven't gone with her at all, I don't think. I told everybody 5 weeks ago that we know the What the Hills very well. We know how they act, how they behave, and what we've done in the past to mitigate some of their attitude, especially at the start of their training, when you first break them. And then again, it's like this other wave comes in February, March. We saw it with Swinging Senorita. We've seen it with a ton of horses. All the horses we've had luck with, the What the Hills, have all fit the same mold. And I saw Freedom Hill acting up with Eric in January. I said, "You're just the thing for Freedom Hill here." And we put a lot of heavy lifting into her, a lot, over the last 6 weeks, more than any other horse. And she's looked amazing. First day I put the hobbles on her and a lot of weight. She was okay. Then she got better. We had to put a Murphy on her because if she'd run in, she'd make a break. That was just her being self-conscious. But the last little while, the Murphy blinds come off. I think only one set of bell boots on her now.
Yep.
Yeah, so a set of bell boots have come off her. The Murphy blinds come off her, and she's looked like a different horse. A+ easy because she's fast, quick. Her attitude has come full circle. Her speed is there. She is the best Ohio-bred filly we have right now, trotting filly we have right now. And we have some nice fillies, not as deep as the Colt core, but some nice fillies, and all of them are chasing this filly right now. A+ easy for me. Amy?
I agree. Like you said, I haven't gone with her ever, I don't think, but I wasn't getting to her with Rosetta the other day, and I think highly of Rosetta.
Rosetta's a very good filly, and she did trot away from her. Now, Jason has gone with her the last 6 times. Eric before that. And I just thought she's been very good. But anyway, you.
The last few times. First time I went with her, I'll be honest, I didn't really know the horse. And I go over and use the snake cord and the V, and I'm like, oh, good, great. And then she went out and she was super. She did everything great. Not the prettiest gait in the world. Not that it's ugly. I said to you the one day, not fluid.
The one horse I thought she looked a lot like way back. I had a really, really nice middle of the road condition trotter named Columbia Dream. She reminds me a little bit of him. A little bit.
She reminds me of Mission as a 2-year-old.
Yeah,
and
very,
even a 3-year-old.
Yeah, very similar gait to Mission too. Yeah, very similar.
But in the last couple times we touched on it earlier, me and Eric took off from the field one day, like sprinted an 8th, and I don't know what that day. And then the other day I sat last and swung her out 3 wide, and she was charging at you.
Yep.
And then yesterday the film was rolling, so I let her kind of rock.
Yeah.
We weren't getting caught in yesterday.
She looked good.
And like all by herself, but polite in the hole.
And that's something.
She wasn't rude. She wasn't ignorant.
That's a progression.
And then I slid her over, and she was gone.
Yeah.
And went, cleared at the half, but that other filly wasn't getting to her yesterday, and she's a nice filly too.
Yep.
Easy A+.
Yep. Gaslight Hall, you don't know. Amy, I don't know if you've gone with them or not. This is one of the 2 Hall colts, Chicago and Gaslight. I'm giving this guy an A+ too. He just does everything proper, does his work well. It's a well-bred colt. I think we have maybe even a deeper division of trotting colts in Ontario than we do in Ohio, which is saying a lot. But this colt here, I don't think he's Chicago. I don't think he's there, but easily an A+. I really, really like Gaslight Hall. Amy, you trained with him the other day.
No, I didn't go with him.
You were in the set with him, though. Yeah.
Well, Resolve indeed put it on.
Yeah.
Good.
I told everybody. We'll talk about her in a minute.
It's very unfair for me to grade him. I've never gone with him.
Okay, so you're going to abstain.
I'll give him an A.
You're going to give him an A, okay. Gorgeous package. I'm going to give a B+. I like this filly. She's an overachiever all the time. We always, she looks like a runt. We didn't pay a lot of money for her. She's not perfect. She's not without her flaws. But always once in a while steps up and seems to wow everybody. And I like Gorgeous Package. I think if she's slow to polish, though. The lather ups were a little bit that way. Like the one filly we had last year was good from day one. The other horse was slow, made mistakes. but never really improved to where we needed him to. Now this filly shows moderate improvement all the time, understands her work, which is important. So I'm going to give her a B+.
I went with her maybe once way back, but I've seen her a bunch, and it's hard to compare her to maybe a Foxy Seaside or a Rosrun AJ or something. The horses she's trying to keep up to. I'll give her a B.
A B, okay. Amy's went with her. Amy doesn't
Amy
like
loves
when
her.
she acts up, and Amy likes him to be perfect. She acts up and bounces around sometimes, so Amy went with her and liked her, and then went with her a couple more times and didn't like her anymore. So, are you going to grade her, or are you just going to snarl at her?
B.
A B. A B. She's going to give her a B. Gorgeous package. She's a likable little horse, though. Grand Old Chap, none of us are going to grade. Now, I will give everybody a quick update. We did have some diagnostic work done at the Ohio State University with this guy. We did not have the bone scan done. I wish we had him. In my mind, it would have just been that last piece of the puzzle to say, absolutely, there's nothing wrong with him in that regard. Now, the surgeon, the veterinarian, the specialist, Dr. Kelleher, did not think the bone scan was necessary. She did do an EPM test on him, and he was extraordinarily high, which is neurological to the point where not to wobblers. They did x-rays and tests and said he's not a wobbler. The EPM test came back very high, so they asked to give him 3 weeks off and aggressively treat him with EPM medication and vitamin E. She said vitamin. I didn't know that vitamin E was a component of that. I have no idea why. She asked for 10,000 units of vitamin E every day and aggressively treat him. So we're going to do that and then circle back with him in about a month. The big takeaway was that there wasn't anything that she could find or that she had any inclination was a problem. She looked at his yearling video. She looked at the training video we had of him where he was galloping, but he was present. And she was confident in saying it was an EPM-related issue. So I left it at that. Grand Slam deal. I'm giving her an A. I gave her an A+ last time. It's just we gave her a week off. It has to be right now. And I think the way she's looked the last 2 weeks, jogging, training slow, and then Joe went with her yesterday, I'm going to downgrade her to an A, but I know she is an A+ filly. It can't be about projections, and I know I did project a little bit with Captain Incredible, but that was going on current information also. When it goes to this filly, I think she is an A+. I think she's going to be an A+. I love everything about her. But today, right now training, I see a little tiny bit of regression, but I think that's all attributed to the fact that she had 10 days where she wasn't training, she was just jogging. An A for Grand Slam deal. Go.
Never gone with her.
Not once?
No.
Wow. Neither of you. Well, she kicks.
I've never jogged her or nothing. Yeah, it's usually Jason loves her.
She'll go on the track and she used to kick. Now she threatens to kick.
She's the one that kicked on Scotty.
Yeah.
And we had the pictures and made fun of him.
That's right.
She kicked on
That's
Scotty.
right, yeah, on the open house day, yeah. But she's not like that anymore. She's not a mean filly, but
Scotty may not want the drive.
I try to talk to him about her sometimes, and he's having none of it.
Yeah.
But he'll learn to like her too. And she is a likable horse. And I like Grand Slam deal a lot.
She's New Jersey, isn't she?
She is New Jersey, yeah. She's probably going to spend a lot more time in Kentucky, though. But yeah, I'm giving A.
From what I've seen, I'll give her an A too. Yeah. He said probably, I think she still goofs around a little bit. Nothing like she
does. She doesn't run though.
No.
She does her work, but she has her good days and her bad days. I'm giving her an A also, so that's
from
good.
From what I've seen from the side, I'll give her an A.
Green Glitter, I'm tempted to give her an A, but she did look very good yesterday for a horse that hadn't trained in 10 days. A+ straight across the board. She's put the weight on I wanted to see, and she was giving me kisses today also. I love that filly. I love everything about her. She's just a really, really nice filly. And, she's turned me from being concerned about the green shoes that were being born from globetrotting and Amy's little mongrel to to actually excited about it again. And then when I look at the three, Insider Trading, incredible the other day. Pull the Shoes has been very good. And Flashfly has been good. A little hiccup the other day, but that's a blip on the radar. And Green Tea. So we have five green shoes in our midst. One is one of our best trainers right now, and the other four have all made it to the races and all been effective in one way or another. And Flashfly, although she's sitting maybe fourth right now, I think will come forward. I've been very impressed with her training down. So I think Green Glitter is an A+, just because she looks. I saw Grand Slam deal go, and then I had my kind of expectations set here for Green Glitter. Daryl just moved her first over and was on your flank, finishing up. A+ for me, right across the board. I love this filly.
Never sat behind her.
It's too bad. She's a nice filly.
But from, like you said, she was on the outside of me and moved first over into a big half on a horse we hold in pretty high regard. So yeah, I'll agree with you.
Go ahead.
I'll agree.
Oh wow.
Well, I saw her train yesterday. I was trying to.
Oh wow.
I was trying to keep up to her with Aunt Lily, which wasn't happening. I didn't get to grade Aunt Lily.
Yeah, you did, didn't you? We started with her.
I was in here.
I think we all gave her an A-.
What'd you give her?
A-.
I think A-.
B+. A- or B+.
Yeah. Maybe I did give her a B.
Yeah, I think you did. Jimere is next. Now, I haven't gone with Jimere. I'll go first. I haven't gone with her in quite a while. I think very highly of her. Amy's worried about her consistency because she'll go great, and then she'll make a break. She'll go great. She's just a filly learning to do her work, and she missed a couple of training trips. I think this is a filly. Now, I'm going to say this as we head into stake season this year. Cannot go. There'll be no in between. Just go easy with her. I think she's a filly you got to drill on, and you got to have her on her toes as you come into the races, because if there's any opportunity for her to dog it a little bit, it's not a bad thing. She's not doing it to be a pig or ignorant, but if she's not on her toes, she's not at her best. And I think that's a very telling thing with Jimere. I still think she's one of our best trotting fillies, but she has to be ready to rock when she comes out on the track, and that's training to go good training mile, and that is definitely, I believe, is going to carry over into a racing career. So interested to see her. I love Jimere. I'm giving her an A because she did make a break yesterday, but as sure as I'm a foot tall, I think she's going to be an A+ all summer long.
I'll give her an A also. She's going through a growth spurt right now too. Her hind end's a little high, and those chimpanzee fillies, they can be frustrating sometimes. So yeah, like you said, sometimes, a week ago you were upset with me for going too much with her, and then yesterday she didn't really feel like it. So
I don't think upset was a proper word. I don't think so. So Jimere, A. All right, he's a great guy.
I didn't grade her, but yeah, go ahead.
Oh yeah, you go ahead and grade her.
We gotta speed up though. We get these things out of here.
That's all right.
A, I haven't gone with her in 2 months, but you can see what's kind of there and can be there, I think. But definitely A.
Okay, he's a great guy. I was concerned as he was getting up close to his elbows with the hobbles on. He would work really hard in them. It just seemed like we came to a place where a pivot would be better. We put the hobbles on him. We put them on him, lightened him up, put knee boots on him. I didn't really like the way he trained. Then we took the hobbles back off of him, took the knee boots off him, took the boots off of him, added a Murphy blind on the left, and Jason Merriman went with him and said, just when he runs in, he gets out of gear. We got to keep him so he's just off the side, just running out a little bit, and I think he'll be fine. And he was right. We put the Murphy blind and Murphy blind in the head pole on the inside, took all the boots off and put bandages on him behind, and he said he was very, very good yesterday. Really happy with this guy. Now, I can't go and give him an A+ or even an A, but I can certainly look at where he was shortly thereafter and where he has come to. You saw a little bit of a stall in his training where he wasn't improving the way he wanted to. I saw a little bit of regression when we put the hobbles on him, and then I saw a jump forward over the last week. So I'm going to give him an A- because I see a horse that understands his work, wants to do his work, and now through the equipment changes and shoeing changes, we've given him an opportunity to do it again, and he looked good yesterday. A- for me with he's a great guy.
I was going to say B+ just because you fiddled around with him a lot, but we still don't really know. Well, I don't anyway. Like if the speed is there, like with the other colts, which maybe he'll show us now that he's hung up properly. But I was just going to say B+ because I think he's got to show us still what's under the hood.
That's fair.
A-. The couple times I went with him, I really liked him, but he was going a hair slower and he wasn't getting into his elbows as much, and we didn't really start fiddling with stuff. But when I went with him, I liked him. I loved his attitude. He's polite. I'll go A-.
Okay. High hopes. I get high hopes for this filly. She has her moments where she looks good, and then other days she'll make breaks. I think as we get her closer to the races and have her equipment on her every day, the same training, and have her on a very strict regiment, I think she'll get better and better and better. I like her. I'm gonna give her an A- because she's had her days where she was fast, but she is easily on tilt. You know, I squeezed her when I made a break with Melisandre yesterday, and it didn't take a lot. He only checked her a little bit, and she made a break. She needs to push through that stuff. I could easily give her a B+, but I just think she's done enough to get into the A category. Just certainly not enough to elevate past A-. But I think there is a good filly in there, and I think she will come forward. I think she is one of our best fillies. But again, talking about Freedom Hill, she has come forward in a big way. This filly needs to follow that lead and come forward in a bigger way also. So I'm giving her an A-.
Me?
Either one of you.
B+.
B+?
I haven't gone with her, but what I've seen, B.
B and B+. Okay. That's a little harsh, but okay. I don't play nice. I've said to you guys, I think is one of our best horses training down. Now, he's still got the speed to drill in. He's looked good. Not very often Jason asks me to go with horses. You know, he just goes with the ones he's put on, and that's that. But went out of his way to ask to go with this guy, and I think I know why, because I like going with him too. I think this is one of our best horses overall. I'm not talking about Ohio. I think this is one of our best colts overall. Very, very nice colt. Does it easy. And even when he gets out of gear, never looks to run. You know, he gets scared by the whip and made a break or whatever 2 weeks ago, but I've never seen him make a break on his own going. I don't even remember when the last time was. He's just all business all the time, and I think as he starts to get that little grit and a little chip on his shoulder as the athletes about to compete do, I think you're going to see a scary good 2-year-old, I believe, as long as that chip appears. But I believe, by all accounts, the easiest A+ I could make in this entire list, maybe, is I don't play nice. You've gone with him. You can go next.
Zero doubt. I told you when we started, there was an A+ off the top of my head and 100% at 10. Yeah, I called the race office, did my driver changes the other night, and I said, hey. He's everything about it. He trains like a 10-year-old. Addy could sit him in a hole. Yeah. He's literally 2 fingers. Doesn't wear a hood, doesn't wear anything. Wears a set of Tron boots. Mm-hmm. That's it. Does zero wrong to train. Like, he's fun to train. And just slide him over and ask him, oh, okay, go. Yeah. I don't think he possesses right now today like the kind of raw speed of a Dancing by Myself, but mentally he's mild. He trains like you'd swear he was like 4.
He's such a nice horse.
He does everything so nice. A+.
Oh, I can't give him anything less now.
No, because we'd ridicule you, so he's going to have to be an A+. I'm a trucker. I can't give him a B. I'm going to give him a C, but I yesterday was the first time I went with him in a while. One, we gave him 2 weeks, 3 weeks off because his knees were hurting him, so he was a little sore. He was getting on a line, he was getting out of gear, he was making breaks. So he's lacking the same work that the other horses have had. I haven't gone with him in a while, but we changed some gear on him, went with him yesterday. He did everything he could. He went a mile in 2:31 off a half in 16, last half in 15. He was last. But he did everything he could. He never got discouraged. He never looked to make a break. He put a couple of steps in and pushed right through immediately like he's supposed to. So I'm not going to give him an A+ or an A or a B because there's a ton of improvement to go into this horse. But I will tell you this is the softest C you're going to see all day because this guy did everything right. In fact, the more I talk, the more I want to put him in the B category. But I'm going to leave him as a C because he's way behind most of the horses. But still looking to come forward, and that is maybe one of the biggest attributes any of the babies can have right now is wanting to do more, and he does. So I'm going to give him a C begrudgingly because he should be in the B category, but I'm going to give him a C. C+, I guess. Sorry, C+.
Yeah, that's pretty fair. C+. I went with him just before we kind of shut him down there, and just everything you said, you can feel there's something there, and he wants to do it. He was just, he needed a little break, so to speak.
Yep.
And the thing too, I think, even the other Michigan colt is you got to remember they're going to race Michigan fairs.
Yep.
They're not racing Kentucky. They're not racing New Jersey. They're not racing Ohio, Pennsylvania. They're going to the Michigan fairs. Not downplaying Michigan, but it is what it is.
Yep.
And he kind of wants to do things. Yeah, I'm with you. C+.
Yeah, I agree. I would just say as long as we get him there and keep him comfortable, he should be productive.
Yep. I'm ready too. Amy, you can start.
I'm ready too. Why do I get him mixed up?
That's the white-faced guy with the stitches in his shoulder.
Yes. He was good yesterday. I haven't gone with him in a while. He had a bit of a couple weeks off just jogging. And so yeah, I would say based on that, and then he got a little bit more time because he got stitches. He came right out swinging yesterday, so I would say he's an A minus.
Mm-hmm.
I went with him once, maybe twice, just before his little break, and I really liked him. I remember we set the hobbles really tight on him, but he did everything.
Mm-hmm.
I really liked him, and he's had a couple minor little setbacks. I like the horse. I'll give him an A.
Okay, I'm going A minus. I was going to say B plus before I heard these two talk, but truthfully speaking, he does want to do his work. We didn't have to make very many changes. We put the hobbles on him. We gave him 2 weeks off because his knees were sore, and then it came right forward. Put stitches in his shoulder. He just sliced his shoulder up. It was nothing. Put some stitches in his shoulder, jogged him for 4 days. Now missed another week of training. Went right out yesterday. So he wants to do his work. So dialed in. Exactly what we want him to do. Certainly no expectations being lost or let down with this guy. I'm giving him I'm going to move him up to an A minus for I'm ready to. Leggy, Jason's gone with. I don't know if Amy has. I haven't gone with much. He makes the odd mistakes, and I just kind of brush it off. She's fast. Daryl got jammed up yesterday and made a break, but I'm going to need to not see her make those breaks anymore. So I haven't gone with her yet for a while, but I still think there's a very, very nice filly in there. I'm kind of torn on where to put her on the spectrum. I'm going B plus because I keep coming back to the break yesterday and a couple of breaks before, but I've seen her also trot hard as hell down the lane and look great. But I need to see consistency. I need to see her doing her work proper and understanding her work. So B plus for me. Amy, you've gone with her, so Amy's going to go next.
I would say the same, just because she's always there. She's in the mix when she does stay on gate, and I do think that she could improve, and I don't know if she needs equipment changes or shoeing changes or what, but she's usually in the mix.
Yep.
But there's room for improvement.
That's fair. Jason's gone with her.
I liked going with her, and she, even when she's made the couple breaks, she made a couple on me late, like almost right at the wire.
Mm-hmm.
She wears a Murphy blind outside, or she did when I was going with her.
She does still, yep.
And it's hard to tell what she's doing because she'll feel really, really good, and then bang, she made a break.
Probably hit herself.
Like immaturity, maybe we're going too fast. I'll go B plus with there's a serious potential for an A there.
Yes, I agree with everything you said. LT Troubadour, I'll start. None of us have really gone with him a ton. All of us have gone with him once in a while. I think this is one of the
sleeper.
He's a huge sleeper. He flies under the radar of everybody just because when we had him castrated, he got infected. He missed 3 weeks of training. And then I said to Joe was sitting last, I said, hey, Joe, come on, get going with this guy. Get him up near the front. I don't want him sitting back and being first over. He looped up around me and was gone. And then, obviously, she sits at the bar. Obviously, two very different horses right now in their training. Ran him down, but he looked very good. I like that he's focused more on his work. He looked less green. He won't buy that big TV on the front end. When he was training the other day, a horse rolled up in his rear view mirror. He didn't get excited or concerned. He just went and did his work.
I just texted you. All right.
We'll be in a sec.
I didn't really go with. I went with my winners. So.
Yeah, but you've gone with LT Troubadour a bit. I haven't gone with him that much. But
loves tractors.
Yeah, he's scared of a lot of stuff, but better.
And you killed Ken Sherman the one day we videoed.
I think he is one of the biggest sleepers in the entire barn. I'm giving him a B+, but I would not be shocked if you heard me give him an A+ within the next month. A lot of improvement there, but he's coming forward in a big way. I'm giving him a B+ and calling him the biggest sleeper in the stable into 2024 so far.
Completely agree.
Okay.
He got castrated and then he missed a little time and stuff. You can feel there's a horse there,
and he's bred too. Bred very, very well. People don't realize how well he's bred.
There's a really, really nice horse there, and he missed a little time with the castration and stuff. Very nice horse with the potential to really skyrocket.
I agree.
You see a trend here. Two people say something, and the third person just says, "I agree."
Well, it's you guys.
Here, hop in the front.
Yeah.
Hop in the front. You get these things.
Hold on.
Track.
Manhattan Money. Nobody here has gone with him. I've gone with him once. I think on the road of sleepers, one of the biggest sleepers. Also, this horse very well bred, ignorant. Like he'll come at you if you scare him, but on the track does his work very well. And it seems like he is understanding his work better and better and better every day. Looks good. We'll speed them up. Melisandre, I'm giving an A- to simply because.
I'm surprised you gave her that.
No, she's just making a few mistakes. I'm not concerned with the mistakes. They're all mechanical, and they will all be rectified. As she goes through these growth spurts and goes through these hurdles, she's going to make mistakes. I am not worried about Melisandre in the least. I am giving her an A- because she was at an A+ and has regressed a little bit. We need to find the proper path with her. I think it's just shoeing, and she'll be fine, but I'll give her an A-. A for Amy. Now, she loves her, so it goes to her all the time. One of Amy's favorites. There's nothing wrong with that. Green Glitter's one of my favorites. Freedom Hill's one of his favorites. There's nothing wrong with that. Melisandre, I think an A is fair. An A-. Have you gone with her at all?
I haven't, but seen her. Yeah, A. One day she'll look super. The next day, not so great.
Yeah.
If she had that consistency, I think she probably is an A+. But
yeah,
she'll
get
fair.
there. She'll get there. Momento My is one of our best, and the problem is he got a cut on his lip and on his mouth, and he was on the left line real hard. So he had taken the stuff off the inside to the point where he's still on the line. So now he's running in a little bit with the Murphy. We should have just taken it all off and put a closed bridle on him the other day. That's how it'll go from now on. He's been one of our best, and any of the gaps in his greatness training have been very easily explained. It's not the horse. I'm giving him an A+ because he is one of our best horses, has been, and I think will continue to be straight into June and further on after that. Yes.
Shows flashes of extreme talent, but because he's got the spring bit and stuff on, because he can be a little...
Didn't have it on the other day.
Oh, no?
No.
Oh, that's right. He took it off. Looks like he can be a touch of a mongrel, but when everything's going good and he's focused and steering good and everything, focus. He looks like an extremely talented horse that's just not quite there mentally.
So?
Hey.
Okay.
I can't give him an A+ because he's just
That's fine.
A little...
Mountaineer Prince, I think he's going to have to be an A+ for Michigan. Again, you had said it earlier. You have to know where you're at. You have to know your crowd. You have to know who you're talking to, so to speak. And when it comes to Mountaineer Prince, here's a horse that's probably an A- or an A in the midst that he's in. Heading to Michigan.
Cheap yesterday.
Yeah, but he's heading to the Michigan
He's not going to
Fairs.
race in the Hambo.
Yeah.
I know.
He's not going to the...
Yeah, we didn't pay him into the Breeders' Crown.
He's not going to the
Michigan.
Wellwood.
So, and I don't mean to make fun of Michigan, but
it's
a fair. They're racing on fair tracks all year. And I think Mountaineer Prince, to not give him an A+ would be unfair, given the fact of what he is, who he's by, and where he's going. He's an A+.
Yes.
Does anybody disagree?
I like the horse. I'll give him an A+.
Doesn't do anything wrong.
My Wicked Heart, I'm going to give a B, straight B too. Last time I saw her, Amy won the set with her. She's trying to do her work. Her knees do bother her. She does get on the left line, but she is.
You gotta go. I only had like Pelican hours.
So, I'll be in a second, help you. We're loading the horses up for Oak Grove. So, My Wicked Heart, I'm giving her a B. Did I say B? I think so. I'm giving her a B because she's doing her work. Her knees do bother her, but she's not looking for a way out. She's doing her work. Solid B for My Wicked Heart. You've gone with her, so you tell me.
I will give her a B.
Wow. Okay.
I went with her like a month ago, I guess, and then I went with her last time I was home.
Okay.
And I did see quite a bit of improvement.
Okay.
So I can't really fault her. It's not her fault that she's...
There's nothing wrong with her. Horses got to push through that stuff all the time, and she's doing a good job. So good for her. She's well-bred filly, doing her work well. There's no reason to say anything negative about her. Never Lose Felix. This guy, I'm going to tell you, it really annoys me. He's got a terrible attitude right now. And terrible not as in rude or mean, just a bit of a coward. You know, he'll get to a point where he could put a step in and he'd rather fold up and look for a way out. And we see this all the time with horses. It's not necessarily that they're bad horses, just need to be a little tougher. And I think with the growth spurt he's going through, I can't really just tighten him right up because he might end up getting sore from doing it. So you got to do what you can when you can with this guy and try and teach him better and better and better. And again, we're on a half. How's he going to be on a 5/8 in Pennsylvania all year? I'm giving him a B. I almost said B-, but he is fast. He did train in 225. He's been there. The speed's not a problem. But I'm going to give him a B because there is a huge berth between him and A+. He's got to work harder at his game. He's got to try harder. He's got to put a full effort in. And when it comes to your work ethic, it plays a big role. He's not a sour pig. He won't not go out and do his work. He's just a little bit of a softie. We got to tighten him up. So I'm giving him a B.
I was going to say a B-.
Okay.
And I only got to go with him
That's fine.
that one time we switched last minute.
Mm-hmm.
But like you said, he could have powered through when he run on me, and he decided not to.
Yep. Well, there you go. Officer Soldier Boy, I'm giving, I haven't sat behind him, but Danny likes him, Mario likes him, everybody likes him that sits behind him. I'm going to give him a B+, because he's in with all of our horses and doing very well, and I don't think any of our pacers are going to get any more than a B+ right now. They're all doing well, but are they wowing anybody? Not yet. Just not yet. But that's not to say they can't. So I'm going to give Officer Soldier Boy a B+.
I agree.
Okay. Oh, hell no. Perfect. This is how you want to see her train coming out of a timeout, a time where we said her knees are hurting her. We did Baycox her, and she was way, way better. So that's a very telling thing also. I thought she looked great yesterday. She finished second, closing in on the leader, never offered to run, did her work, understands her work, executed her work as well as she could. Pretty hard. I'm going to give her an A-. Pretty hard not to, because of the improvement. Still a wide berth to where she could be, but I think if this filly stays sound and progresses the way she is, she could be one of our best horses. She's weeks behind Freedom Hill yet, just looking at her, but she's got a bigger, stronger body also. If we can rev that engine up inside her and keep her legs attached good and sound and feeling good, who knows what Oh Hell No will be. A- for me.
I was going to say A, but then I think A- is more fair. And considering Joe knows nothing about her and just...
Yep.
Actually, he wasn't even supposed to go with her yesterday. There was a screw-up on the drivers.
I was.
And he doesn't know anything. He wouldn't have known the history or anything on her. And she went out there and she did great, so...
Yeah, very impressed to see her do this. Pelican, I'm giving a B to. Huge amount of improvement still in front of him. We're going to do some more diagnostic work with this guy. The right front that you see is I like to say, exasperated by the right hind. Now, usually you see it diagonally, see right front and right hind and left front. With this guy, his right front foot, he's a little more pigeon-toed right front than off. Now, he's not interfering or hitting anywhere, but I think he's putting a lot of pressure on the outside wall of his foot, and he is getting a little sore on it. Because he's getting sore on his foot, he's taking weight, his knees are going to get sore. But I think all of this is all compounded also because there is something bothering him right hind. Don't know what it is yet. It's not an OCD, it's not a tear, it's not a broken bone, anything like that, but something that is bothering him. Dr. Latessa has been tasked with finding that this week. So I think once we figure out what it is, he's probably going to need a little bit of time off. This is Charlie May's brother, not a bad horse. So I think once we fix that right hind, we can begin to take the weight out of his knees and out of his feet and have a sounder horse. And I think a sound, productive Pelican is an impressive Pelican. He's just not there yet. I'm giving him a B.
Yeah, B. I feel bad for him because he does have that, brother, and he gets compared to him all the time. And,
Yeah.
And
I get compared to James, and it's not very fair to me either.
Right? So
that's where you say, no, you're very comparable. Thanks, Amy.
Sorry. I don't know. I think that he's got some work to do, and it's hard not to compare him to Charlie May. So I feel like my expectations for that horse.
Mine aren't. I try not to do that anymore. When I look at him,
it's hard not to do that.
I see a horse trying to do his work that has reasons not to do his work. That's all I see. So top marks for him in that regard. Work ethic.
Yeah, like he could go out there and make breaks.
But people say, "Oh, he looks sour. He always looks pouty." I'd be pouty too if I had issues. So he's come to a place where he's struggling to get through them, but he is trying to get through them. We just need to help him out a little bit more. So recognizing what the actual issue is going to be a big deal. Now, the latter part of our list, we're going Princess Dream, A+, obviously. She got injured a little bit, kicked through the wall and scraped her legs up behind, but it's all superficial. She's fine. She's going to get a week off, though, so you're not going to see her train next Saturday. Everybody else, you should. This filly's top of the food chain in Ontario. Has been and will continue to be. I think very, very highly of her. I think very highly of Resolve Indeed also. But our trotters. Now the Pacers are coming. They might be okay. I don't see My Wicked Heart getting to the Sire Stake program. Maybe the grassroots, but the Sire Stake program, no. When I look at the trotters, I can see all 8 of them kind of getting to the Sire Stake program almost. They all look really good. And Princess Dream does. You've gone with her, so you can say more if you want, but I don't see how she's not an A+.
No, she's kind of, like I said earlier, she's kind of where you set the precedent.
That's the bar. The bar is her.
Well, I'll talk about her when we get to R. But
yeah, well, she's next. Resolve Indeed.
Really? Yeah.
And I've told everybody, Resolve Indeed was making breaks at the start. We changed her gear, and you could tell she had that little chip already on her shoulder. She was angry because she couldn't do what she wanted to do. when we put the hobbles on her and put the gear on her, and now she's in a position where she can attack. She loves to fight, and she's got that chip, right? That thing that I always say, you want to see that from the horse. You want to see that merciless kind of attitude. She's got it, and she wants to do it. Both these fillies are scary good, and I'm not going to say that one's better than the other, but they're absolutely both A+ in my mind.
Yeah, I would say they're very comparable, and I went with both of them last time I was back in. I said, honestly, I don't know who I would. If you told me I had to pick one, I don't know what I would pick.
Yeah, they're both very, very good fillies. Rosrun AJ, he's not without his shortcomings. He's a little too hot, but does enjoy his work. And his airway, sometimes you can hear him making noises, and we're trying our best to control that. I had a great conversation with Marco the other day, one of my partners, on him. And he's saying, well, what about this and what about that? None of that matters. I don't care how fast he is, because if he's fast without intelligence, it doesn't matter. He's not going anywhere. He is a buoy on the ocean. He will get lost in a sea of horses that will be happy to beat him up. Until he understands his work better, he's not a runaway. He's not crazy. The issue is when you start to grab into him, he'll make noise. He's got a real narrow throat on him. So for me, what we have to do is get that stress level, that mentality under control. He's getting there, but it's going to take time. And it's not something you can fix overnight. We are working on it. I've talked to Jason. I said to him the other day, we were going to put the spring bit on him. And he said, you'll hear me say it. It can be an aggressive bit, and we never used to use them, but we've had a lot of luck. Wallop was the first one that wore it. And since him, we've tried it on a lot of horses. Blanton's Blue races with it on. It's just more of a leverage bit. It allows you to control the horses a little bit more. But it's not without its downsides also. So if we can get that bit on him, the first day we went to put it on him, he fought with it. If we can get it on him and get him controlled, perfect. And we're going to continue to try and get to that point. But even so, he's so good right now, it is really hard not to give him an A+. I guess with the parameters I've set out, if he could be better, he'd have to be an A, but speed-wise, I don't know how he could be better than he is right now. Just got to work on that mental aspect. It'd be unfair not to give him an A+, though, in my mind.
Yeah.
Rosrun Alexander, you've been going with a lot of people saying she looked a little flat. She's sick. She's been sick. She's getting over the virus. And as I said, Amy did a great job. Just hide her in behind. She doesn't have to look like this killer every time she goes on the track. Understanding her work and being able to control her in that situation is a very, very hard thing to do. But she's getting it. Of all the dancing Yankees, she's easily the smartest one we have so far. And I love this filly. You can talk more about it because you went with her. But, you'll see her get better when she gets back at 100%.
Yeah.
She just wasn't there this week.
Yeah, you could tell she wasn't herself, and she was very docile, and I've noticed a couple times, well, when I think it was because I didn't want to go with Gorgeous Package, so Eric and I switched, and I was like, when I went out with her the first couple of times, I was like, oh, she feels like she could be very grabby, but she doesn't grab on at all in the mile.
She's
very
a sweetheart
polite.
that way.
She is still a little silly, like she shies away from the tote board when it's on. Like the Dancing Yankee is in there, it comes out randomly, but as far as manners go, she's by far the best.
Yeah, she's a nice filly.
Yeah.
Rosetta, you went with the last two times. I haven't gone with her in a while, but I did go with her before we changed all the gear on her, and I think she is one of the best horses we have quietly. And I've seen her look so flashy when Eric went with her a couple of times, and she couldn't run down. It's impossible. When you start at the head of the lane and you have a horse on the top of their game like Freedom Hill, and you try to trot past that horse, that's almost racehorse speed through the lane. It's a lot to ask a horse to do, and Rosetta couldn't do it yesterday, but super fast filly, and people forget this is Green Tea's sister.
Yeah, I don't forget.
Yeah, she's very, very nice filly though, and you went with her, so you can tell them more.
Yeah, I've gone with her 2 or 3 times now. She was hard to steer before. Now that she's got the stuff on, she's trotting straight. She doesn't have her head cranked around, and now she's a lot more handy. Before you kind of felt like you were holding her together because she just wasn't trotting straight, holding her head straight. But now you could throw the lines at her. She's flawless.
She's a nice filly. She sits at the bar, A+ for me. This is Volume 8's sister, and Amy said she was getting hot in the hole, and then she'd want to sprint forward and do stupid stuff. And once we got her hung up properly, you can see the difference in this filly now. She's just a totally different horse. It seems like a totally different horse. When I went with her, you just drive her like a race car. But I saw you yesterday. You moved her out, and she just kind of wandered up alongside them and drove away.
Way more politely than before. Before, as soon as you gave her any air, she wanted to go from 0 to 100.
Yeah.
Now she's okay with attacking slowly, which I think is a good quality.
Yeah, absolutely it is. She's just smart. She's understanding her work a lot better. Southwind Idex, still very lazy. We're going to get the flip-flops off him and start working harder with him. He's a splint crowd. He can do his work, but I would like to see him do more. I think he is creeping towards that fork in the road where he decides to be a racehorse or not. Might be right around qualifying time, which would be interesting and interesting to watch take place. But I would keep your eye on this guy because there is a horse in there. He is very well bred. I can't say that he's going to turn into be a really good horse, but I see him creeping towards, as I said, that fork in the road. I'm going to give him a B+ because I just think there's a huge room for improvement. Southwind Idex.
Sorry.
Wonder where Ollie gets it from.
B.
B, okay, yep.
Why did you give him a B+?
Because he's fast. He's just a little lazy.
I want him to want to do it, though.
He's either going to want to or not. Either way, he's going to do it, whether he just decides to.
I mean, but how many times are you going to force him to do it before he's...
I think he just dogs it out there, and he knows it, and I know it, because he pulls up with his ears up, and he's like, I got you
He doesn't care at all.
Yeah, I got you again.
Yeah,
but I'll get him. Don't worry. Speed of Sound, I give her a couple of weeks off. One of my partners said, where's she at? She's giant.
Yeah, she's huge.
You know when she's going to train again? When she wants to train. That's when I'm going to train her again. This is a big, giant New Jersey filly, and we will gain nothing by forcing her into a position. Her attitude is spot on. She's got a great attitude. She loves her work. I just want her to get back to being able to do it properly. If you saw how big she was now, you would understand exactly what I'm talking about. I guess I have to give her a B+ because there's an enormous room for improvement, but I fully expect she'll end up at an A+ before the end of the year.
Yeah, I would say B+. She's shown before that she's got the tools. She just needed some time.
The Priest was a little bit sick for off and on for a week, and then did make a break with the hobbles on, but Jason said it was an anomaly. He thought that it was more when he get doubled up when I slammed the brakes on the other day.
Oh, that was 100% what happened.
Yeah, so
I was right behind
he
him.
made a break, but then he said he was great afterwards. I think this horse can be a really nice horse. It's going to be a lot of fun for us to race all summer. I'm going to give him an A-. He belongs in the A category. But I just think he'll get better and better and better. One, health-wise, just got to improve a little bit, but look great. When we first put the hobbles on him, and Jason said the horse was trotting great, belongs in the A category. In my mind, I'm giving him an A-.
I was going to say B+.
Okay, B+ from Amy. Trino on green, I'm giving a B+. There's a huge amount of... Could be in the A category. I'll tell you he's in the A category next week. I see a horse that could improve immensely over the next little while, but has done his work. Danny loves this horse. Everybody loves him that goes with him. So let's see it. I want to see it. Today I'm giving him a B+. It might be an A+ by next week, but today for me it's a B+.
Yeah, I'll say B+. I know that he needed to have the hobbles on the other day, and he ran when we were training. Still acts a little bit immature. I think he's a little
he was a stud until 2 weeks ago.
Immature, and I want to give him a wide berth to improve because I think that he's going to. So yeah, I would say a B.
Wander Hill, I'm giving a straight B too. I know he's made a lot of breaks and he's let a lot of people down that have been my partners on this horse, but I still trust this horse and I still think he will come forward. I think, where'd all the shares go? Wander Hill has no shares left? Well, that's weird. I just think that this horse, his breeding, his attitude, I love horses that want to do more. And although he makes mistakes, he always, when I see him do it, I see him come back, and I've sat behind him when he's done it, he always makes me feel like, one, he was a little upset that he did it, and two, he wanted to work harder at not doing it. It sounds stupid when I say it like that, but that's a feeling I get from this horse, is that he wants to do more, and there's no lameness issue. His feet bug him a little bit. Who cares? He'll be fine. But I think as we get closer to crunch time, when we're getting ready to the races, I don't know what kind of horse Wander Hill will be, but I know he wants to be a racehorse. That's the way I see it anyway. I'm going to give him a B. I don't want to give him a B- because that would be regression from where I saw him before, and he hasn't regressed. So I'm going to give him a B.
Yeah, I would say a B. I just think, do you find that some of them, they accept this speed a little easier than other ones?
Yeah, 100%.
And then some of them will take a couple times going that speed, and then they'll be like, okay, I can do that.
100%.
So I think that's him. Like, he caught up to everybody, and then we dropped the hammer a little bit again. And then he made a mistake.
But yeah, 100% it can. Wesland Warrior, I'm going to give him an A. I still see a much better, and that says a lot. But this is a horse we painted in the Breeders' Crown and everything. I see a very good horse in there. He won a set easily the other day, but wasn't without, my trepidation. I was on top of Jason coming out of the turn and behind him second over, and he really was just looking to be disorderly. He wanted to cause some trouble, and then when I got him over to the front, he just wanted to fight and was waiting for somebody to come to him. I like the chip. I like the fight. Needs to come a little more mental acuity. And for that, I'm going to give him a straight A, but I'm certain this horse is an A+ horse.
Yeah, I'll agree.
Begrudgingly?
Well, I got along with him okay a few times, and then other times it was a disaster. So it just, I don't know. He bugs me a little bit.
He bugs you a little bit,
Yeah.
okay. What a lady, what a night. I thought she looked great. She circled up around them the other day. This filly is starting to look really good. This is the one that the Lose Legacy that Jim actually liked. The other guy's got a little ignorant still. But what a lady, what a night looked great yesterday. Circling up around them, I thought she looked really good. I'm giving her a B+, and she's on her way forward. I think she's going to be a nice filly for us in Illinois this year.
Yeah, that's fair.
Okay, and Woodmere Betcha, I'm giving a B+ too. I haven't gone with her enough, but from what I've seen with her and from the people I've talked to that have gone with her, everybody really likes Woodmere Betcha. Excited about what she could be this summer in the Maritimes. That Smitty is, Jamie Smith is, and Angie. No concerns. I have no concerns. I just need to see her jump forward like an A category filly. And for that, right now, I'm going to give her a B+. You have nothing to add?
Well, we weren't giving any of the Pacers A's, to be honest.
Well, you can. That's what I didn't. You can.
I agree with your mark.
Okay, B+ it is. So those are your markings for all of April. You get Jason for most of it, Amy and I for most of it, me for all of it. My take on all the horses and where they're sitting and where they're at and what I hope and expect from them, what I'd like to see them do, and what they're not doing right now. So with that, I'll let you go. A bit of a boring video, I guess, but at the same token, you got everybody marked. You got about an hour and 15 minutes for all the 2-year-old markings. I'll be back. We still get the 3-year-olds. We still get the 4-year-olds to talk, our 4-year-olds and aged horses to talk about soon enough. For now, I will talk to you all very soon. If you're still awake, congratulations. If you're not, wake up!